Okay, hi. I've got Interiors 2014 open, and I've drawn a little box here with an interior wall. This is for Mike and others who are trying to do a kitchen design like this. And I'm going to put a doorway, which I think is what Mike initially did. And we'll open the doorway and reprogram it to be just a doorway and arch it. We'll do broken arch and 12, something like that. Now, I haven't paid any attention to the size of this opening, but I think this is what Mike was trying to do. Let's see, we got a center tool? Yeah. We'll center that. So basically, we've got an arched opening into a space. Now, I'm not going to do the kitchen, but there's the arched opening. And he wants to put a bar kind of a thing in it. And what I initially suggested was she can't draw a wall inside a wall. That's just this program, the software is not designed to do that. So I suggested using a soffit under cabinet tools. Let's place a soffit. Go back to the camera. See, it's up here by default. What we'll do is open the soffit, tell it to be 0 inches from the floor, and we'll make it the depth to emulate a wall, be 4.5 inches thick. And the height, we'll set it 41.5 inches. This will make sense to you later when I get to this. There's my quote-unquote wall. We'll stretch that out. Remember, I'm just demonstrating. I'm not designing a kitchen in this case. Now, in plan view, I went to Control-Tab, by the way, to switch. You can see that just like your wall in your initial image that you posted, this is outside. It's not in alignment with this curved opening. And soffits, by default, will try to avoid occupying the same space as some other solid object. Now I'm going to hit the Control key, left click, and then drag. And with the Control key, I can override that tendency in the software. So now it's in alignment with the wall. Let's go back to this camera view. And where's my camera? There it is. You can see it's in fairly good alignment with the wall. And then we can take cabinet tools and flesh that out. Where's the cabinet tools? I never use this toolbar configuration, and let me change that. I'm going to go over here. I've been using the program for a long time, and where is that thing? I know it's, or maybe it's under Tools. Well, forget about it. I'll just work with it as it is. Looks like to me I need to, it's still a little bit out of alignment. I'm going to click on it one more time, press the Control key, and move it up screen just a little bit. That's probably close enough for demo purposes. Now, where's my cabinet tools? I don't see cabinet tools. Oh, okay. I don't use the drop down, so it's just kind of confusing for me. But I rarely ever use interiors. We'll put some base cabinets there. And look at it from the other side. You get the idea. The soffit will serve as a wall. Now, if we want a bar, in interiors, there's a couple of ways to do that. You can make another soffit. I'll do that with a soffit. We'll put another soffit here. And this one, this soffit, I'm going to open the dialog box and tell it to be at 41.5 inches from the floor. We'll make the height about like a countertop, 1.5 inches. And the depth, 13 is fine. And now I'm going to, again, use the Control key because it would have, by default, this soffit would bump into the other soffit, even though they're in different z-axis heights, at different heights off the floor. I'm going to use the Control key and stick it up there. We'll check that in a camera view. There's our quote countertop unquote. And I was expecting the soffit to pick up base molding, but it didn't. You can add that a molding to it down here on the bottom using this moldings tab. I'm just going to go over to base moldings, and that's fine. We'll put that on there. Now, by default, it puts it at the top of the soffit, so you just click to the bottom, and now you have base mold. Okay. Now, this soffit here, that's being the quote countertop unquote. See, soffits are quite malleable, and you can make them any angular shape or rectangular or square shape. They serve to represent whatever you want them to. Go to the Materials tab, set that to, let's see, I guess that would be under Masonry and Stone. Stone, we'll make it granite. Granite. I don't particularly care what kind of granite. Just any kind will do. Because I'm just demonstrating. Okay, there's a way to do a countertop. And now let me show you another way. I think in the manual it says you can use a cabinet, and I'm going to use a base cabinet. We'll put a base cabinet over here. See, a base cabinet has a countertop on it. Now this cabinet, I'm going to set its height to 42, and then I'm going to click here and remove these items here. I'm just clicking on them on the front tab and deleting them. Select the resulting space and tell it to be a blank area, excuse me. And then I'll get rid of the toe kick on the general tab, set that to 0. Oh, that's backsplash. Well, we don't want any backsplash. We'll see what, I was looking for the toe kick. I guess there isn't a toe kick input. Well, okay. Now, we'll make floor to bottom. That's 1.5 inches, so floor to bottom on this would need to be, to do some math in my head, which I'm not very good at. If we wanted it 42, it'd be 40.5 inches off the floor. I think that's right. And the depth I'm going to leave at 24. The height of the cabinet I'm going to set to 1.5 inches. I still got that toe kick. In most of the Home Designer programs, like in Chief Premiere, I can set the toe kick to 0, but I don't see a place to do that here. Now I'm going to have to change my, we'll set that to 3. No, that's not going to do it. Countertop thickness. I just need that on top. I guess using a cabinet, this is about the best I can do. So we'll go with that. And with that being 5, we wanted it at 42. Minus 5 is, what, 37? So we want 37 to the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to, again, use the Control key because this is a solid object and it would want to bump into other solid, quote-unquote, objects. Now we'll go back to that camera that's open. And then you can see that I can extrude this across. And it's just another way. Of course, using this type of object, I like the other type of object better. I'm going to delete that and take this one and just put it across there. And put the same material on there. So that's a couple of ways to solve your problem, and that's what I was talking about. Sometimes showing somebody, it just makes more sense than trying to describe in text. But we still got our arched thing here, and it's open, and we have a wall, quote unquote, and a countertop, and that's a common way to do that. And I can see there's a little bit of a mismatch here on the backsplash. We'll just shift select these cabinets. I don't know if interiors can shift select in program. I guess it can't. I don't see an open icon. All right. Some of the more expensive programs give you greater productivity choices. I was just thinking here on the overhang, looks like we need to set that to 6. That might be overdoing it. Yeah, it's overdoing it. Backsplash, we'll set it at 5. I just don't want a gap there. Now, a little bit more. So that's 5.25 inches. There we go. And I would do that to the rest of the base cabinets to fill that in, and that would be a finished product. That's too bad you can't shift select them. You have to open them one at a time. And I guess you could, I just thought of this. We could go over here to base cabinet defaults, edit, default settings, cabinets, and just do it over here. Base cabinet, edit, and set the default, what was that, 5.25 inches, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. That's a quicker way to do it in interiors. So that's what I was talking about. And if this is not what you're doing, I'm sorry, but I couldn't tell from what you posted as text exactly what you were doing. And so a lot of times forum posts are not accurate enough to really give you a response. This is my response to what I think you were asking for, and I hope it helps you and others who are trying to do something similar. Thank you.